In one of the biggest aviation news for the Philippine aviation industry was the announcement by Philippine Airlines it would launch nonstop flights to Seattle, which would make it its fifth destination in the United States, joining several Asian-based airlines such as Cathay Pacific and Singapore Airlines, as well as Japan Airlines in launching new routes to the Pacific North of the United States. Along with the new Seattle flights, the Philippine flag carrier will also resume the Cebu-Los Angeles flights. These plans are exciting for Filipino and those in the United States, especially Filipino Americans, or those looking for new alternatives for travel to Southeast Asia. However, Philippine Airlines' moves to launch more flights to the United States has been met with opposition, as United Airlines has filed protests within the last few months regarding the Philippine Airlines expansion plans to the United States. Now, the first protest launched by United came in November following Philippine Airlines' decision to launch additional flights to the island of Guam, the U.S. territory in the middle of the Pacific, where Philippine Airlines already has daily flights along with United's competing daily services. In its protest filed to the United States Department of Transportation, United cited issues of expansion in Manila, specifically the denial of flight slots and the lack of adequate infrastructure needed to expand their services in Manila. This has happened as Philippine Airlines has been able to launch new routes to cities such as New York, and the Philippine-based flag carrier has been able to increase capacity on their US-bound flights over the last few years as well. Since the protest was launched, Philippine Airlines has since removed the additional flights which would have started in March, though this would not be the last of United's challenges. Recently, it has been reported on aviation and travel news sites such as the Points Guy that United has launched a separate protest over Philippine Airlines' planned Seattle flights, which are going to be scheduled to start in May. Like in its protest for the additional services to Guam, United again asked the United States Department of Transportation to defer the approval for the planned flights until United is able to secure flight slots for their own expansion plans. So now we come to the next question given these facts: that is United's protest simply an attempt to thwart Philippine Airlines' own plans, or do they have valid concerns? Taking a look at the flight network of US-bound flights from the Philippines, Philippine Airlines does have a large advantage, which I briefly touched upon in a previous video as one of the biggest strengths of Philippine Airlines. The airline operates flights from Manila to Guam, Honolulu, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York, with the Los Angeles route in particular being served by twice daily flights by the Manila-based carrier. As for the US Big Three carriers, the Philippines sees two of the Big Three US carriers, Delta and United, with Delta not operating direct services to the United States but instead to Tokyo Narita. This will change in March as it will shift its services to Seoul Incheon. The only other competing US-based carrier operating flights between the US and the Philippines is United, with 9 weekly flights including a daily direct services from the island of Guam, where it maintains a small hub operating flights to Manila along with Japan and Honolulu, Hawaii. So compared to Philippine Airlines, United is a small player in the market, and lately it has turned to using the connecting option for connecting travel from the mainland via Guam or through its partnership with ANA in Tokyo. However, there are some business cases where the airline would love to fly their own metal to an airport, as in the case of Manila. However, United is not alone when it comes to securing new flight slots to and from Manila, as airlines such as Dubai-based Emirates has had issues securing new flight slots in Manila to carry out their own expansion plans, especially for flights from Dubai. This has been a problem going on for a while, especially with Manila Airport implementing a flight slotting system with many of the flights, though justifiably going to many of the Philippine-based carriers, which as a result we have seen some additional flights within Asia and within the Philippines departing from Manila. Now, it could be argued that United could simply shift its operations for its own additional flights with announcement for flights to Clark or Cebu, as some of the large Asian and Middle East legacy carriers have done lately. Though in the case for the business of United in the Philippines, their point of view is probably that Manila is still the best connecting hub for domestic travel, especially those Filipinos who travel with them and whose final destination may not be Manila, or the intended audience for these flights would be a market for business travelers, which would improve the viability of the route, providing convenient access to what remains the biggest business hub of the Philippines, which United is likely targeting a preferred flight slot, which the Manila airport simply may not be able to provide, given to the already well-documented problems that the airport is facing From a business point of view, I do see United's point, and I don't think United would be unwelcoming, especially in this case of allowing airlines like Philippine Airlines and expanding its own services to the US. In a previous video, I did cover the difficulties, especially for low-cost airlines serving the market between Guam and Manila, a market that Cebu Pacific recently exited in December. Unlike low-cost carriers, the remaining players on the market, Philippine Airlines and United, could make up for empty seats in economy with business class travelers and cargo, along with the ability to sell premium economy seating. For the Guam-Manila market, which I do believe is already well served, United may have to look at the alternative of using larger aircraft, which Philippine Airlines has done on the Guam-Manila routes, switching from the Airbus A321 to larger Airbus A330s on some days of the week. For United's case, it may have to consider using the 777s mostly used on the Guam-Honolulu route as a substitute for its 737 services which it uses on its Guam-Manila flights. Thank you for watching. This has been another edition of Flights in Asia, highlighting the news and updates from the aviation and travel scene from the Asia Pacific. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, thank you for watching and have a great day.